Watch this video until the end to see a brand new theme song. Okay, bye.
Hey, Squidward! Not that hot.
Hello, random person. Sab Nino here. As of the time of me recording this, it is 2 days before 2024, and I ended up splurging myself this Christmas. In the Eels and Escalators and Pop-Mart figure video, we tackled the Slumber Party set, which I actually own the entire set now, so if you ever want me to tackle those figures as well, comment below. But that's not what we're here for. Today, I am going to do a completely fresh, never before opened box of another Pop-Mart set called Life Transitions, which is kind of funny because currently I'm going through a massive life transition. The box is really cool. From what I've seen, it seems to be heavily inspired by the title cards. You know, like the 2 hours later, the thousands of tears later.
Many minutes later.
I know there's like a display, like there's like a way to like display the box. I am trying very hard not to break this. Oh, okay, I figured it out. You can actually display the box like this. This is actually really cool. I love how when you get the entire set, it's not just a generic box. Even the box has its own unique design. Here's all the figures that should come with this set. I know there's like an exclusive one where SpongeBob has like 3 eyes and 3 legs inside of a jar. No guarantees that I'm going to get that one because that's like a limited quantity. I really hate that I have to open the boxes like this because there's like a little tear here and it just doesn't look that good. That's like my only critique with the Pop-Mart sets, but if that's my only critique, then that's really f***ing good. Let's see what my first one is. Huh. It comes with like a little thing of foam here to help with the legs and stuff. I'm just opening up the accessories. The title card for this one is 3,000 years later.
3,000 years later.
And it comes with a little SpongeBob. He has like a little bit of ridges. It almost gives it like a pixelated look, which is really cool. And as always, I love the glossy eyes. I love the chrome, and it comes with a Camp Coral Gary, which is really fascinating because this is meant to be adult SpongeBob. Everything looks to be in order, not a whole lot of place. Belt loops are right. I always dwell on like the little details like the back belt loops and shit. So far, it's a great start. Oh, I also forgot, this is what the card looks like. Really cool designs. Also, just like the last set of Pop-Mart figures, it comes with environmental dietin. I love poison. What else do we got? Hey look, more dietin. This feels like a big boy. I'm looking forward to that. I got another SpongeBob one. So the next one is a few inches later.
A few inches later.
And it's SpongeBob in a little boatmobile. Really cute. And it comes with a rock for SpongeBob to like crash into and potentially explode like in that one episode.
I finished that.
What's really cool about this one is that it actually moves. It is a moving boat. They didn't have to do this because they're like collectible figures, but it's really awesome that they did this. What's really cool about this one is that you can actually see worry lines sculpted into his eyes. When he has like worry lines, they're typically printed on, but here they're actually sculpted. Each figurine I see, I get even more impressed. And again, here is the card. Third box. So the first thing I got is a bed. So it's another SpongeBob one. Here is the bed, and it comes with a 5-minute later blanket.
5 minutes later.
Time to open up the figurine itself. I know this one is certainly a SpongeBob. I really enjoy how they have like foam to cover up the shoes so they stay protected, because I know SpongeBob's feet are very small. Put SpongeBob on the bed and give him a little blankie, and now he's an insomniac. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. I can definitely relate to it. I can't tell you the last time I had a good sleep, so. The SpongeBob figure himself looks a little weird just by himself, though I really do enjoy the little red veins in his eyes. That's a nice touch. This is the card. Fourth one. We're already a quarter way there. I wonder when I'm gonna get one that isn't SpongeBob, because so far, everything has been SpongeBob. Okay, I find it really funny how I was questioning when we'll get a non-SpongeBob, and the next thing I open is not SpongeBob. They even have like a piece of foam for here. The quality control on this is immaculate. Holy shit. Put this thing together and hope I don't break it. I heard a crack. That doesn't sound the greatest, not gonna lie. This one is One Eternity Later.
One eternity later.
And it's a Patrick statue. The cape is kind of finicky when you're just holding it like this, but other than that, it's a really cool gimmick. Patrick has like a cute design. It almost looks Camp Coral-ish when it comes to expression. The way it's sculpted definitely makes it look like a rock. It definitely doesn't feel like a rock. But yeah, for our first non-SpongeBob character, we picked a good one. And I definitely know this isn't the last Patrick. And here's the Patrick card. We're already halfway there, halfway there, halfway there, halfway there. Time for number 5. Another big boy. Okay, this is definitely Patrick. I feel something round and pointy in here. It has to be Patrick. So this one comes in one piece. This one is just pretty fitting because, no joke, this is just a figurine of Patrick taking a I don't understand why, of all the relatable things to include in this set, why did they have to include just Patrick on the toilet? It's not even implied that he's taking a His pants are down, he is grunting, he is fighting for his life in here, and I feel bad. But the attention to detail is still really good. I do like the shine of the toilet. I cannot tell if they sculpted his ass because it's covered by the lid. But knowing the attention to detail on these figures, I would not be surprised if they sculpted his ass, even if you don't see it. But hey, at least there's a tiny bit of a novelty of saying that I have a figurine of Patrick taking a dump. But despite that, I hope they never do this again. Oh, and you also get a card. It also says later on this one, which makes me feel bad for him even more. I might know what this one is. It feels like Mr. Krabs, but I could be wrong on that. Holy shit, I'm right. There's even foam in between the claws and the tears. Kinda hard to get out though. There's even a stand. The downside of the stand is that there's no way to place Mr. Krabs. I wish there was like a little thing on the bottom of him, but that's very minor. This one is Thousands of Tears Later.
Thousands of tears later.
I'm pretty sure this one is a reference to the episode A Day Without Tears, and this Mr. Krabs is definitely a reference to the episode Clams. This one is definitely a mood. I'm sure this figurine set will be very relatable to a lot of people. If only there was one about going over budget, like I did with this set. And here's the card. Apparently the later thing wasn't specific to Toilet Patrick. That's apparently on all of them, I think. I believe this is the 7th figurine. I definitely think this is SpongeBob. Okay, I was close. It's not SpongeBob, it's SpongeGar. I was honestly afraid of breaking this one, given how fragile SpongeBob's feet seem to be, given that they always put these little foam things. But this one is called Previously, and as I mentioned earlier, it's SpongeGar with a sand Krabby Patty. This one is really cool because nowadays it's not often that you get representation of SpongeGar, because typically it's Primitive Sponge that gets all the glory solely because of the memes. So it's really cool that we get a SpongeGar figure. I'm not sure if they made any SpongeGar figures. I know they made plushies, but not sure about figurines. So when are we gonna get a Spongy figure next? Time for the card. This one is a little bit grayed out, but that makes a lot of sense because it's during the BC times, so if that was intentional, that's really cool, but if it's like a misprint, then it's still a nice coincidence. Last box of the second row. Definitely a rounder character. Maybe Patrick? I'm guessing Patrick. And the accessory is a wig. This one is titled Not Normal, which is a reference to the episode Not Normal. His eyelids are miscolored, but knowing the attention to detail on these figures, I wouldn't be surprised if this was makeup. I like how the wig is a separate piece, so if you want to take it off, then you can. The main downside I have with this figure is that it could have some unfortunate implications, because since this is Patrick in drag and it's calling him not normal, this could come off as pretty transphobic, but maybe I'm just looking way too deep into it. I don't know. What do you guys think? But as a figure on its own, it's still really nice. The necklace shine is really cool. They didn't have to put this much attention and detail into the figures, but they do. And that's why I think Pop-Mart are probably my favorite series of SpongeBob sets right now. Okay, we are on our final 4. I forgot the card. I forgot the card. Here's the card. Okay, now let's open this bad boy. Maybe it's Squidward? I have been on the money with these guesses. It's insane. I like how there's like a little wrapping thing here, so Squidward's protected. There are a lot of figurines of Squidward blowing a clarinet in the Pop-Mart series, which makes perfect sense because Squidward does like playing the clarinet. And this is Squidward. This one is several song-filled hours later.
Several song-filled hours later.
And he's wearing a tuxedo. It would have been cool if he wore like a top hat or something. Also, Squidward's eyelids are miscolored. They're typically darker and they kind of like blend in with the rest of his head. I am tempted to just have this Squidward and my slumber party Squidward from the last Pop-Mart video just jam out together. Squidward Generations. My dumbass keeps forgetting the cards. Here's the card. Okay, the chair gave it away. It's SpongeBob. It has to be SpongeBob. I know the Slumber Party set, Sandy had SpongeBob's chair, but I know for a fact that in this set, it's definitely SpongeBob because that's what's shown on the box. This one's titled Later in the Void.
Later in the void.
Very, very interesting naming scheme. And this is pretty much how it looks like. Just like with the 5 minutes later one, the figure of SpongeBob looks weird like outside the chair, but in the chair it looks really good. The only critique I really have is that there is a tiny extra hole on SpongeBob's head, but no one else would really notice that. I am just an obsessive freak that paid way too much attention to SpongeBob's design as a kid. We are down to our last 2. So the last ones we have are Opening Night and One Shift Later. If it's not either one of those 2, then it has to be the mystery. But I'm assuming I'm not gonna get the mystery. Okay, this one definitely feels like Patrick. Awesome, I got One Shift Later.
One shift later.
It's funny that they include Patrick for this particular one because Patrick doesn't have any shifts. But this is Patrick doing a handstand. He's very round in the Pop-Mart sets. I madly appreciate that. And here's the hourglass. Here's the top of it that says One Shift Later. The hourglass looks really, really cool. Though, maybe this is just me, but I think it would have been cool if this was like a working hourglass. But I get why they didn't. That could get a little messy, but it would have been a fun gimmick. Given that the few inches later one was able to have moving wheels, it's clear that Pop-Mart isn't against gimmicks, at least not car gimmicks, because they have an entire set where the characters are cars. I was tempted to get this one, but I thought this one would look cuter. Card. This one is unfortunately bent a little. Okay, the grand finale. This one is either Opening Night or the mystery. I'm assuming it's Opening Night. It's Opening Night.
Opening night.
I'll be real, I'm not that disappointed that I didn't get the mystery one. I already know what it is, and I'm just grateful that this set doesn't have any duplicates. That's another reason why I think the Pop-Mart figures are so worth it in terms of price. They're not like blind bags. There's only one figure that is a mystery, but with each set, there is a guarantee that you will not get a single dupe. Thank goodness SpongeBob's legs didn't break. The first video I saw with this set, this particular figure's leg broke, so I was like afraid that this one was gonna suffer the same fate. Still worried of breaking it myself because of his puny little legs. So this one is Opening Night, and it looks like he's finally able to lead the bunny hop. Good for him. Good for him. Again, a really nice figure. Nice attention to detail. The design is very simplistic in nature, so there's not really much they could have done. Though it would be pretty cool to have like a little felt thing. I know in the Slumber Party set they gave like felt to like towels and stuff, so it would have been cool to do that for the entire suit, but that might be expensive. I know nothing about figurine making, so a lot of like the suggestions I have are just things I thought would look cool for the design. But for a final figure, I say this is a good thing to end on. It's a SpongeBob figure, it's an outfit that isn't represented that often. I know they've definitely made figurines of this bunny suit because I used to own one of the tiny figurines. That was the entire SpongeBob Life Transition set from Pop-Mart. And this is the card. Here is the entire set. Here it is in all its glory. I'm doing my best, guys. Patrick fell over. Patrick taking a crap. SpongeBob not sleeping. Squidward's playing the Titanic. And yeah, that was the entire set. Overall, as expected, Pop-Mart doesn't disappoint. These are really high quality figures and very, very display worthy. I am so happy that I managed to get this entire set, minus the mystery figure, but even with the ones I have, I'm still very, very satisfied with what I got. Which of these figurines was your favorite? Do you have a favorite Pop-Mart line? What other collectible figurines do you want me to unbox next? If I have the money, I might get it. Just comment below. I do have another overpriced possession that is being shipped to me now, and I included it in the poll, but the next collection video should be a not Lego Krusty Krab, and I'm really looking forward to that because it'll probably be the closest thing we'll ever get to the Lego idea of Krusty Krab because they keep not approving it. With all that said, it's all sad from here.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Absorbent and yellow and porous is he?
SpongeBob SquarePants!
If not, I will... And drop on the deck and flop like a fish!
SpongeBob SquarePants!
Ready? SpongeBob SquarePants! 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 SpongeBob SquarePants!
Much, much, much later.
SpongeBob